Good evening. My name is Justice Michael Massengale. I am running against Deborah Lehrman, and I am your constitutional conservative candidate for Texas Supreme Court Place 3. And I'm going to explain to you why I am the constitutional conservative candidate. You've heard that a bit. But first I want to tell you I'm a lifelong conservative Republican. I grew up in an Air Force family. I lived in Fort Worth from 7th grade through high school. I'm a Southwest High School rebel. My mother's here with me. She works downtown, my mother Alice. And my wife Lindsay is here with me. Lindsay and I are committed Christians and followers of Jesus Christ. The greatest blessing in my life, standing right back there. And what we share in our marriage is that we help each other be better imitators of Jesus Christ. Now, I told you I'm a lifelong conservative. I'm a former Republican Party precinct chair in Harris County, Houston, where we live. I'm the former president of the Houston chapter of the Federalist Society, which is the nation's preeminent association of conservative lawyers. And that's how I met my friend Ted Cruz. When Ted returned to Texas to be Solicitor General, he asked me to come work with him in that office handling the important constitutional issues that he handled for the state of Texas. And I was very tempted to do that. But after a lot of prayerful consideration, I decided to defer that call to public service. The reason was that I was very busy in an active trial practice, handling complex commercial matters, and I was really close to making partner in my law firm, a large firm called Baker Botts. And so I decided to defer the call to public service. I kept my nose on the grindstone for another 5 years. I made partner in the law firm, and the experience I gained is very important to me standing before you as a candidate for the Texas Supreme Court. I'm the only candidate in my race who is actually experienced with the important commercial cases that routinely come to the Texas Supreme Court, that our business community is depending on the court to decide predictably, fairly, correctly. I'm the only person who's practiced at the top of my profession. I'm the only candidate in the race who's board certified in civil appellate law. And that's important because that's exactly what the Texas Supreme Court does. Now, fortunately, I did get another call to public service. I was appointed to a vacancy on the Court of Appeals in Houston 6.5 years ago. And I have compiled a record of hundreds of written opinions that demonstrate that I am a committed conservative dedicated to the philosophy of interpreting statutes based on the actual text of the statute. I don't use legislative history. The case that Judge Lehrman described to you, she was in dissent in that case, and the majority of the court explained why she was wrong about relying on legislative history. I'm also committed to the text of the Constitution. My opponent, Judge Lehrman, has a record of judicial activism. She is the most frequent dissenter against the conservatives on the court. In 2 cases, she was the only member of the court who had used the state constitution to invalidate tort reform laws. And that record of activism is why I've been endorsed by some of the most trusted conservatives in the state. Texans for Lawsuit Reform and Texans for Fiscal Responsibility are supporting me because they care about preserving the Texas economic miracle that our conservative state legislators have worked so hard to put into place. Now, Julie McCarty, who's also endorsed me, I'm proud to say, asked me to talk about this same-sex marriage case. It was one of the most important cases to come to the court in decades, and Judge Lehrman was the only member of the court who refused to participate in the case. She's explained that an employee of the court told her that she couldn't participate, that she had a conflict of interest, and that she can't explain that conflict to you. I think that is entirely implausible. I think that you, as the voters, are entitled to know what kind of conflict does Judge Lehrman think would prevent her from sitting on the most important constitutional case that has come up in her entire judicial career. Judge Lehrman is happily married to Greg. He's a great guy. She doesn't have a conflict of interest about whether or not a same-sex couple can get a divorce in Texas. So ask yourselves, what kind of conflict could it be? You know, as judges, we don't get to dodge controversial cases even when our friends and neighbors have strong opinions. You know, just like the Bible, the Constitution doesn't change based on the winds of opinion and the opinions around us or political correctness. I'm asking for your support as a justice on the Texas Supreme Court. If you elect me, I'll do the job. I will not run and hide from hard cases, and nothing will stand between me and interpreting the Constitution as it was originally intended. My name is Justice Michael Massengale. I ask for your support. I've been endorsed by Tea Party groups all over the state, and as I said, Julie McCarty. Please get my list of endorsements and also the National Review Online article that describes Judge Lehrman's record of judicial activism. Thank you very much.